Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. And in this episode I'm going to explain what's up with the Cactus. So I'm just on my way up to Fort Kinnaird just to pick up an order at Argos. But I just thought I'd make a little video of what's happened to the Cactus on Tuesday. You'll have seen my video on my plans for the Cactus in 2023, and you'll have noticed I made a comment to a fourth job to do. And basically on Tuesday I took the wee man, took the wee man for a coffee, and we popped off to get some shopping done. Well, I picked him up from school. And I'd actually filmed the video of plans for the Cactus in 2023. So I'd left the car for about an hour. Well, I picked the wee man up from school, and we came back to the car, jumped in the car, and the car wouldn't start. So I'm like, okay, what's happened here? Flat battery again. So we managed to use my jump pack on the car, got the car started, and then drove back home, parked the car up. But another hour later I went back out just to give the car a run, and the battery was flat again. So I had to jump it again, and at this point I thought, right, I think I'm just going to buy a brand new battery. So bought a new battery from Euro Car Parts, and on Wednesday I fitted the battery and turned the car over. It started first time. Second time I started it, it refused to turn over, which made me think I think there's a problem with the alternator. I've spent £58 on a battery, and yeah, spent this money on a battery, and it's turned out to be the alternator. So we've got my friend Chris, who is also on YouTube at GDBus13, and he got one of a battery tester, and we tested the battery, and the battery came back good, and we tested the alternator, and that's when things get a wee bit more peculiar. When the car was running with the alternator, powering it, the battery was only getting 12 volts, and the alternator was getting the same. So we disconnected the alternator and started the car again, and the battery was getting 14 volts and the alternator was getting 14 volts at the same time, which is confusing, because how can the battery charge without the alternator? So Chris had a look at the connector and took it to bits, had a wee look at it, seemed fine. Checked the earths, they seemed fine, and we were a bit perplexed, to say the least. And basically I went to like the Citroen pages on Facebook, like the Citroen Owners Club, C4 Cactus Club, the Citroen C4 Club, and they were all perplexed as well, because we were wondering, why is the alternator charging and not, why is the battery charging when the alternator is disconnected, and when the alternator is connected we're getting 12 volts on the battery. The battery's not charging at all. So it was all perplexing. Chris asked a workmate and he was the same. He was like perplexed, and I asked I asked a guy in my work who trained as a mechanic, and he was under the assumption that you're probably better to get a new alternator. The alternator seems at fault. Yep, there are no right turn there, but everybody does that here. And we were all just perplexed with it. I spent the night last night researching things. Could it be a fuse? And other things. Could it be a fuse? A broken wire somewhere? And couldn't find anything. And it struck me tonight. I was actually on YouTube, and I just typed in alternator not charging battery, Citroen C4 Cactus, and it brought up a video for a Peugeot 208, and it was a guy saying, oh, if you disconnect this, I've had problems with my battery, but if you disconnect the alternator, it charges the battery. And it appears it's a software issue. And Peugeot or Citroen will gladly take £75 off you for the pleasure. And I think he was basically running about in the 280 he had, with the alternator disconnected, so basically the battery was charging all the time. And I've done some more digging on it as well, and I found another couple of videos, and apparently it was a technical service bulletin or a recall. They call the alternator multi-plug, I think it's called the limb sensor wire or something like that. Don't quote me on that, I don't know if that's quite right. And this could be the issue. So I'm thinking now, I've spent maybe £58 on a battery, a new battery, and I probably didn't need one. But I've also maybe possibly saved money on an alternator, because I was quoted, I kid you not, £750 to replace an alternator, and that's not a main dealer. That is a local garage. £750, that's including fitting in the labour charges. And yeah, so I'm going to search again, and then I'm going to maybe not pop into Peugeot, but maybe give them a phone or Citroen and see if I can get the car booked in for this recall, or if the car has had the recall. It might have missed the recall, and all the issue could be is just a simple software issue. But it just seems strange, because apparently the Peugeot or Citroen call this the alternator a smart alternator, so it sends like a signal from this plug to the ECU. So basically all I need to do is get the ECU reflashed, apparently, and that should solve the issue. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can find some more videos on it, and see if I can find out any more information on it, and just get myself armed with the facts before I take the car to the dealer and say, is it possible you can reflash the ECU as part of this technical service bulletin or recall, and we'll see if that cures the issue. Anyway, that was a sort of very randomly vague ramble, just on a wee drive up to Fort Kinnaird. So I'm just away to nip into Argos now, pick up what I need to get, and I shall head for home. And fingers crossed that the battery is still working on the car tomorrow. But I'd just like to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, and I'll catch you in a future video, hopefully with an update on the Cactus. Farewell.